nature of power. Now, Halifax since 1867 started foreign disease. And these books, theory of foreign disease like this is in this is their literature reviews and things. And he gives so many descriptions, even from history of Moses, from Bible, Old Testament, start from different authors. He has so detailed history on theory of foreign disease, which clear years explains. And he sees that Psora is evaluated time of time after the different wars, Psora being ancient form, different form, Psora ultimately form, and that Psora, and then says the most destructive. Most destructive is the Psora. The Psora covered the 70th part of the body, like other body covered by syphilis and syphilis. Psora, how Psora is introduced means Psora by contagious forms. Contagious forms, Psora infected person to person by contact. You are again part of the baby from mother to child, or even school children from one person by contact. Psora. So that is how Psora is a primary infection. Primary infection means Psora introduced first Psora enter in the body, Psora by contact, one person Psora to another person by contact, and Psora invades the whole body. That is the incubation, like incubation. Whole body, and not every cell is affected with Psora, not in single part. Whole body affected with Psora. After that, the body's own vital force wants to remove the disease condition. Psora part removed, there is some manifestation of Psora. That is peculiar cutaneous eruptions. Cutaneous eruptions is divided like macular, papular, vesicular, pustular. It is the peculiar vesicular eruptions, primary eruptions. Vesicular eruptions, that eruptions is that contains some form of sticky fluid. Vesiculars. Pustulars contains some pus, but vesicular fluid contains some sticky fluid. That fluid contains the miasm, sodium miasm. Now, that is persons there is severe irresistible desire to starch. That desire starch. If we resist, it's harder persons go to the body. Then, when he starts, that fluid bursts out, and it comes out. That fluid contains sodium miasm. That miasm, when by contact from one person to another person, that is the Psora, another person. So Psora, everyone says Psora is universal because it's by contact from one person to another. Nobody is good Psora. So that Psora, that basically peculiar eruptions contact from one person to another person, and that vanishes. Now, when we give primary manifestations, usually the traditional treatment, what they do, they do not know the whole body of it. They assume it is a local vesicular eruption. So use some ointment, sulfur, powder, and steroids. After using, Psora is not curing locally. Psora goes to the more inward. So primarily it goes to the latent form of body. Psora is not latent form. Latent state. Latent state means it is a dormant or sleeping state. Psora is not sleeping. I will give so many examples of latent state. The symptoms of latent state. Latent state means there is apparently no symptom, apparently no disease, but there is some symptom. Itching in arms, itching in nose, redness of eyes, different symptoms, so many symptoms in latent state. From the latent state, Psora is normal disease. Now it will give there is some exciting factor. Like we see the transient explosion of latent state. Due to some exciting factor, let us form that. that acute disease forms from transient exposure levels. That return states when the transient exposure due to some exciting factor that causes acute. Now acute disease we treat fragmentally. Means we treat that symptoms. Now disease is removed. Acute disease for a fixed period. The fixed period if it is calm, when we treat acute disease, is go away, is again go to the next is meeting down. Disease, miasm is not it again recover. Acute disease. And acute disease is not cured. But when there is a violent disturbance in the body by environment or something, then original secondary stage, that is original body disease start. Numerous forms. Secondary form of that is numerous forms. Now that's similar like Psora, Syphilis, Sycosis also same. There is some primary manifestations, there is some later stage, there is some secondary form. Now primary manifestations, animal says we are treating any case minimum dose, always minimum. As possible as minimum. Minimum minute dose. Always use the minute dose. In case of dark food, we use moderate and never large. That is the exception. In primary manifestation, we use the for curing the Psora, we use the large dose of highly dynamized sulfur. Sulfur highly dynamized means sulfur 38%. In large doses. In case of Psora, we use the only exceptions. We use the large dose for removing the primary conditions. Primary manifestation, if you want to use the Psora, by contact, just primary symptoms start. So, not external, nothing, only internal. We give the sulfur at large dose. Here is the only exception. The critical is this example. So, large dose often apply primary manifestation. In case of Psora, we use the sulfur. In case of Syphilis, there is the primary manifestation. In primary case, we use the large dose of lot sulfur. That is marker. Marker higher 30 because in animals lifetime 30 was the highest potency. There is manually potentiation done, everything done manually. 30 was the highest. Hearing also some higher potency. Animal brought down like you see, etc. from hearing by return. By return, give me some this is not yes. So, marker is 30, highest potency. Primary manifestation. But in case of psychosis is not only puja. So, the puja you have to puja highly diagnosed. Alternating with 90 days. So single medicine cannot cure the psychosis. Alternating with 90 days. And psychosis is a good medicine, not a single medicine. So you have to alternate with puja, alternating with 90 days, 30 days. You are 30 days. Large dose. Yes. So everybody is latent state. Latent state মানে আমরা যে জেনারেলি desire for change, কেউ মিষ্টি চুরি করে খাচ্ছে বা কেউ desire for sour, different, that is comes from latent. Then when violent system, the body is the original with the symptoms, isn't important. That comes with secondary form of Psora, secondary form of Syphilis, secondary form of Sycosis. So according to, we have to treat. If it is Psora, we give antipsychotic. If it is Syphilis, if it is anti-syphilitic, if it is psychosis, nowadays you cannot get pure form of Psora or Syphilis. All are multiplied. Cancer, psoriasis, all are multiplied. So that multiplied case means is dominating miasms, layers of miasms. So you have to, according to second prescription, change your plan of treatment. You have to treat. If it is dominating Psora, you have to antipsychotic treatment followed by some symptoms coming on psychosis, antipsychotic. So you have to change your plan of treatment to antipsychotic to antipsychotic. So antipsychotic medicine, you think of antipsychotic medicines. After that, maybe come to the again Psora comes. So you have to give antipsychotic medicines. Again syphilis comes. Syphilis symptoms. So change of plan of treatment again antipsychotic medicines. So in that way, you have layers of miasm. So that is way of treatment. But this comes not only singularly. That stops in animal livers. You will go. That is, animal says, this is the very serious task occupied me since the year of 1816 to 1817. 1816, 1817, I have started this task, serious task. Night and day. And behold, the giver of all good things permitted me within this space of time to gradually solve this sublime problem through unremitting thought, indefatigable inquiry, faithful observation, and the most accurate experiments made for the welfare of man. So this discovery, 1816-17 started. And chronic disease first volume written 1828, 12 years. And fourth edition of organum introduced. The chronic miasm. 1829. Publication of fourth. So these 12 years, day and night, ultimately experimenting. Why chronic disease is not cured? What is the story? Ultimately finding there the miasms. And he gives his thesis form. He has encountered only some separate fragment of deep-seated original disease. And আমাদের কি করতে হবে হেলথ he therefore must first find out as far as possible the whole extent of the all accident and symptoms belonging to the unknown primitive matter. তাহলে আমাদের স্টাডিটা হবে before that animal study কি হবে long is that's it এটা ক্রস সেকশনাল স্টাডি আমরা স্টাডি করব because study was that process not that. We put it as animal only given on the basis of symptoms given on the patient complaint, but patient gives that patient complaints only getting the patient complaints and same medicines given, but that after few days again the patient comes with same symptoms. Now the disease is like an iceberg. In 70 part or only 1 part is there. The patient complaint only goes that type of symptoms, but you have to see the whole history, including the past history, family history, that symptoms. That will cover the whole picture. The patient complaint will not cover the picture. That's all. That only the cross-sectional study will acute case okay, but chronic case you have to treat. You have to that study will not cure the chronic. So you have to see the miasm, you have to see the whole history, and not only patient complaint, history of patient complaint, past history, family history, patient's personal history also, some exercise circumstances, including the homeopathic journals. You have seen the patient past, karma reaction, desire, aversion, intolerance, everything. Patient's mental conditions, mind, or everything, the whole totality will give. The patient complaint give you the dominating miasm. Maybe miasm is not dominating. But medicine is not prescription only for me. So you have to see the whole history, the past history, family history, see the background, which miasm is layering of miasms. And ultimately the homeopathic journals, the latent conditions, latent symptoms is helpful for this kind. That particular desire, aversions, the thermal reactions, that's all the sleeping, perspications, everything. And when mind gives a perspiration. So this idea is gives not a single day. We have to go through that. Hanuman says about Psora, I discovered even in the beginning of the obstacles to cure in many cases seemed very often lie in the former eruption of each. Different form of eruption of each. The beginning of all subsequent suffering usually dated from that time. The each age. These circumstances have had the innumerable observations. Different physicians observed had shown that an eruptions of each suppressed by faulty practice. That eruptions faulty practice, one which had disappeared from the skin through other means, was immediately followed. In persons otherwise healthy by the same or similar symptoms, these circumstances highly would leave no doubt in my mind as to the internal code which I had to combat in my medical treatment of such cases. This malady, which may be called by the general name Psora, that is against the internal itch disease, with or without its attendant eruptions of the skin. Then, my painstaking observation to the aid about the antisoric remedies which I added in the past these 11 years have taught me ever how frequently not only the moderate but also the more severe and most severe chronic diseases are of this origin. These observations taught me that not only the most of many cutaneous eruptions which William distinguishes with such extreme care from one another which are received separate names, but also almost all adventitious conditions from the common warts on the finger up to the largest sarcomatous tumors. Warts means tumor. From the malformations of the fingernails up to the swelling of the bones and the curvature of spine and many other softening and deformities of the bones, both an early and more advanced stage, are caused by the Psora. This Psora is a numerous forms. We also give vivid examples like frequent epistaxis, accumulation of blood in the veins of the rectum and anus, discharge of blood from the same, blind or flowing piles, hemoptysis, hematomesis, hematuria, and deficient as well as too frequent menstrual discharge, night sweats of several years durations, parchment-like dryness of the skin, diarrhea of many years standing, as well as the permanent constipations, difficult evacuations of the bowels. These are all observations by animals. Then Psora. Long continued erratic pains, convulsions occurring repeatedly from number of years, chronic ulcers and inflammations, sarcomatous, enlargements, and tumors, emaciations, excessive sensitiveness, as well as deficiency in the sense of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling, excessive as well as extinguished sexual desire, disease of the mind and of the soul, from impassivity up to the ecstasy, from melancholy up to the raging insanity, soups and vertigo, these so-called diseases of the heart, abdominal complaints, all that comprehended under the hysteria and hypochondria in short, thousands of previous elements of humanity called by pathology with various names are with the few exceptions true descendant of these many forms Psora. But Psora is very wide range. And we are seeing the three, actually we see the three set phenomena. That is, one set is Psora, is very larger, another set is Syphilis, another set. This set coming in different name or unnamed. If you go to the Harrison medicines, there is so many diseases. Name and unnamed. Etiology unknown or something. And all are come from Psori and menses. They are all different forms. And we are going to treat accordingly. And he gives several examples. And animal says, Psora, that is the most ancient, most universal, most destructive, and yet most appealing. Chronic miasm. Animal says, Psora is most destructive. Last year question comes, this line is made. The most ancient, most universal, most destructive, yet most disappearing chronic miasm. some college students will written which one is, some students written syphilis. Because animal not, syphilis is a destructive miasm, but animals, this line is good. So the answer is Psora. So the most ancient, most universal, most destructive, most misapprehended chronic miasm disease is Psora. Which for many thousands years have disfigured and tortured mankind, and which during the last centuries has become the mother of all thousands incredibly various acute and chronic venereal diseases. While we, the whole civilized human race, the inhabited globe by being more and more affected. The whole globe is affected with the Psora. And Psora is the most oldest miasmatic body. Psora is the most oldest miasmatic known to us. And animal says Psora is the east disease, is beside the oldest and most hydra-headed of the all chronic miasmatic. Hydra-headed. Hydra-headed one?
Octopus like.
Hydra হচ্ছে Sycosis জীব তো Hydra. বাইরে রিফার্স ইজ Hydra. Hydra যখন চলে এগুলো যেতে পারে এগুলো ডিফারেন্ট ফর্মে চলে যায়। Hydra হেড এদিকে বসে বসে যদি Hydra চলতে গেলে এদিকে চলতে পারে, এদিকে বেরোতে পারে, এদিকে বেরোতে পারে। So disease comes with a different form Hydra. So Hydra numerous forms of disease, known or unknown. That is comes from Psora. So that is called as a hydra-headed. Then Psora's development different form in several varieties. Even history given in the history of Moses 34,000 years ago provided several varieties. That is the old monuments history. Moses, Old Testament Bible is history as well. All that time later among the Israelites of disease, some have most kept external. Now Psora behind formless. Therefore what is the occidental Psora, which during the Middle Ages raised in the Europe several centuries under the form of Psora formless, that was malignant Syphilis. That was Saint Anthony's fire. Saint Anthony's fire. Saint Anthony's fire. Saint Anthony's fire হচ্ছে Psora একটা পট in the Middle Ages, যেটা হচ্ছে Syphilis form. One form of disease. সেটাকে that is Saint Anthony's fire registered in the form of in the form of leprosy. Psora এটাকে ধরে নিয়েছে একটা leprosy form. Leprosy যখন হয় leprosy form তখন সেটা Psora এরকম করে যাচ্ছে। এইভাবে Psora ডিফারেন্ট ফর্ম যেখানে বলছে যে ফ্রান্সে about 2,000 houses reception of lepers. This Psora, which now raised with dreadful eruptions, found the last and external elevations. So the Psora different forms. The Saint Anthony's fire was different forms. Psora thus become most infectious, most general of the chronic miasms. The Psora সম্পর্কে different forms বলছে। Great blood different forms similar to Psora. এবং এখানে বলছেন যে at least 7-8 of the all chronic maladies spring from these they are already source. 7-8 apart from the remaining 8 spring from syphilis and Sycosis. Even syphilis, which on account of its easy curability, its smallest doses, best preparation of marketing. Psychosis, which account to slightly difficulty in its cure through few doses of puja and nitric acid. Then puja and nitric acid. আর Psoraর ক্ষেত্রে অ্যানিম্যালের কিং অফ অ্যান্টিসেপ্টিক হচ্ছে সালফার। অ্যানিম্যালিয়ার কিং অফ অ্যান্টিসেপ্টিক সালফার, আর সেখানে সালফার দিতে হবে। এখানে পুজা নাইট্রিক অ্যাসিড হচ্ছে tedious, difficult cure of complicated Psora. যদিও অ্যানিম্যাল সালফারকে কিং অফ অ্যান্টিসেপ্টিক বলছে, যদি সালফারের সিমটমস অ্যানালিসিস করে সেখানে দেখবি 50% সিপিলিস। তাই the Psora is among the all diseases the one which is the most misapprehended and therefore has been medically treated as the worst and most injurious. বিভিন্ন ইংলিশ ফর্মে সোরা ট্রিটমেন্ট হচ্ছে আলটিমেটলি সোরা কিন্তু যায় না ট্র্যাডিশনাল যে সিস্টেম তো আলটিমেটলি সোরা এভাবে ঠিক আছে